The top 5 things you should know before buying a home in the Champaign Urbana area. Hey Champaign Urbana, welcome to this video. I'm Brock Collins. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty here in the Champaign area. And today I'm going to walk you through the top 5 things you should know, be aware of before buying a home in the area. So we're going to start with some softer things at the beginning. You still need to know about it and apply them. And then we're going to move into more serious stuff you should know. And I want you to know about this to help you while you're searching for that perfect home. All right, let's jump right in. All right, getting our timing right. So let's talk about the timing of buying a home. Basically, I want to share with you, if you are in a lease now, maybe you're renting a home or an apartment and you've got 6 months left on your lease. If you have the ability and the financial ability to be able to buy out your lease or keep paying it while you're moving into a new home, it's perfectly fine. However, if you need to wait until closer when that lease expires, it's probably better. Because if we go out looking at houses today and you find the perfect home and you still have 6 months left on your lease, and we put an offer in and we say, hey, we want to buy this house, Mr. Seller, but we don't want to buy it for 6 months. So can you work with us? Chances are that seller is not going to be interested. Most sellers want to sell when? Like right now, maybe 30 days, maybe 45 days is a typical timeline. So we want to line up our timing of buying a home with what your circumstances are today. So if you're in a lease and that kind of thing, we want to tie it to, maybe we start looking at houses maybe 90 days before your lease expires or thereabouts. Okay, so getting your timing right is important because I don't want you to find the perfect dream home and then us not be able to put it together, okay? All right, let's jump on to the next one. Getting pre-approved. All right, there's a couple reasons why this is very important today, all right? Getting pre-approved, what does that mean? It means talking with a local lender to find out a couple things. One, you want to know for sure from the lender how much you can afford, okay? Meaning how much your monthly payment can be that's comfortable and still works, and how much the home can be. Those numbers fluctuate a little bit based on interest and how much the interest rate is at the current time, but our lender is going to give us all of that information and we need to do that. The second reason it's really important is because if we don't do this in advance, the sellers of the home, maybe that perfect home you're looking for, probably aren't going to take us seriously. Here's what happens. When we go get pre-approved at a bank or a mortgage broker, what they're going to do is they're going to give us a piece of paper, and it's called a pre-approval paper. What it tells the sellers is you've met with the lender, you provided the lender some documentation, and the lender has told you in this paper that you can afford a home in this range based on these conditions. So sellers would like to see that proof when we're submitting an offer. So it's really important, one, to know how much you can afford based on a monthly payment and the price range of the home. But two, it's really important so that when we go out, we find that perfect dream home you've always wanted. We want to be able to present that and say, look, we've already done our work, so now we want to buy your house. Here's proof we can get financing through our pre-approval letter, and we want this house, so let's go. All right, so getting pre-approved in advance before we're out looking at homes is pretty important. So if you need a list of, or you'd like a list of local lenders in the area that are very active and can provide this for you, reach out to me. I'll be happy to provide you with a list of local lenders that are really active today in the Champaign Urbana area that can help you out, okay? All right, down payment money. Let's talk about down payment money. Here's a couple things I want you to know. There are many first-time home buyer loans, and what those do for home buyers is they're very low down payment. Now, in some instances, like an FHA loan, they only require 3.5% down, okay? Now, you might be saying, Brock, what happens if I've only got about 1% of that saved? Perfect, I'm glad you asked, okay? Because if you have some of it saved, but not all of it, what we can do in some circumstances like that is we can ask when we find a home that works for you that the seller actually give us a concession that goes towards our closing cost or prepaids that tie into that required money. So that's one option on that too, all right? Next thing, is your down payment available now? So I've worked with buyers before that say, hey Brock, I've got my down payment, but it's in a boat and I'm selling my boat. So I want to go out and buy a house today, and when the boat sells, I'll have my down payment. Well, lenders don't like to work like that because the truth of it is they're not going to fund the loan unless you have the down payment. So we want to make sure whatever you're doing, whether it's a first-time home buyer loan, whether you're putting 20% down with a conventional loan, that the money's available. Now, it could be tied up that you're selling your home, okay, we've got your home sold, and it's part of that. That's okay, because the closings happen the same day, and so those will all come out together just fine, okay? The last thing I want you to know is if a friend or a family member is saying that they're going to help you out with that down payment money, hey, I love you, and we're going to give you $10,000 or whatever they're going to help you with, right? What I want you to know is there are some loans that don't allow what's called a gift in the down payment, okay? So what we want to do is, one, let me know in advance that that's what you're working with. We also want to let our lender know, more importantly, the lender know, so that you can disclose that to them up front and they can tie you together, put you in a box with the best loans that work, that do allow that. So we want to know that in advance, okay? Home inspections. Now let's talk about home inspections. Home inspections is basically a report that shows the health of the home. Now, a lot of sellers who are really good and on top of the market, they will actually pay and have this done before their homes are listed for sale, okay? So what that means is, as we're looking through houses together, you're gonna say, Brock, I like this house. Let's see if there's a home inspection. Perfect. I can pull it up and tell you yes or no. If there is, we're gonna look through that home inspection before we make an offer, because we want to know how healthy is the home. If there's things of the home that are scary or maybe out of your means to be able to repair, while we present our offer, we're also going to ask for those things to be addressed, either fixed or give us a concession that we can hire someone to take care of that along the way. Okay, so there's also many times that sellers don't have their homes pre-inspected. So what I would suggest in that case is that you go ahead and have the home inspected after we've agreed on an offer with a seller, okay? Here's why it's important. You want to know that the house you're buying has a good, healthy health report, all right? So the home inspections typically in the area cost $400 to $500, depending on the size of the house. They're in that range. So why it's so important? Yes, is it a lot of money? Yeah, it is. However, when it can show you how healthy or unhealthy the house is, that's important. This is a big decision, probably the biggest expense you'll ever spend your money on, okay? So we want to make sure it's healthy. So if you want to a list of local home inspectors that are active in the area, connect with me, say, Brock, can you send me that list and let me contact a couple of them? Absolutely, be my pleasure. I'll get you connected right away. Now, we have our home. We've made an offer on your dream home. The offer's been accepted. Now, here's some things I want you to know. Now that we're ready, we've given the paperwork and the contract to our lender, and the process is starting, and it's gonna take maybe 30 days from start to finish, okay, from the lending side. Now, what I want you to know about is don't go out and make any big purchases, okay, before closing. Because if you go out and say you buy a new car, you want to treat yourself well, what happens is your financing ability is tied to a couple things: how much you make, what your debt to income level is, and also your credit score. So if you're on the fence on any of those, a big expenditure or purchase could throw those out of line before closing. And then guess what is a possibility when we're ready to buy that house? You don't get the loan because you've thrown the ratios out. So it doesn't affect everyone. It does affect a lot of people though. So I want you to know, once we find that perfect home for you, make sure prior to closing, you're not going to go out and spend big monies or open up a lot of credit cards or anything like that. All right. Now, if your lender needs more documents, get them to them right away. So what happens along the process, they might reach out to you a week later after we've agreed on a deal, we're moving forward, and they might say, hey, listen, I need that letter from your employer that shows you have actually been there for the last 3 years. Something simple like that. What you need to do, anything your lender asks you to provide them, get it when? Right now. As fast as you can, move quickly, get it to them. We don't want anything to get clogged up in the process that can prevent a closing time or delay the closing down the line, okay? The last thing I want you to know about is be sure to reach out to your insurance provider and let them know you're buying this home. Give them the information so that you are going to be insured once you close on that home. Also, your lender is going to require that from you. So if you can just get it done in advance and provide that information to them, you're going to be ahead of the game. All right, so here's the thing. If you want to look at a specific home, you might say, hey, Brock, I was looking at this home. It looks interesting. It's the neighborhood I want. I'd like to go in and take a look at it. Perfect. Give me a call. If you want me to provide you with a list of homes that meet your criteria, so you might say, hey, Brock, I want to be in Champaign or Urbana or Mahomet. This is the price range I want to stay in. I want a 1-story or a 2-story. And we find the criteria that fits you perfectly. Let me do some homework. I'll prepare a list and I'll send you all of them via email so you can take a look. And any of those that you want to see, just reach out to me. We'll get in there right away and see what you think. All right. Now, there are also homes that are available that aren't on the market yet, but I know they're coming. So I have access to them. So if you let me know your criteria, you might have tried to look around online and maybe you can't find that perfect home, but it might exist in the off-market settings that I have access to. So let me know that criteria. I'll look at all of the properties that are not yet on the market, but that are coming, and I can probably get you access in them before they even hit the market. All right. And the last thing, if we don't find exactly what you're looking for and you're like, oh, I'm missing that one thing, what I can do for you is I can set up a custom campaign for you that will put your criteria into our software, and I will make sure that you receive via email every day anything that pops up matching that criteria that you're looking for. Okay, so I'm here to help you, and let's find that perfect dream home. So you can call me today. Give me a call at my office, 217-239-7009, or you can go to my website at brockcollins.com. So listen, I look forward to helping you and working for you as we go forward and find your dream home right away.